All right, welcome back, True Seeker. Apologies, running a few minutes late. My stream went over on Gematria Effect Sports. In case you're not subbed over there, had to talk about the 59-foot buzzer beater by Max Struss, who, before the game was played, we had circled for a really big game because, again, sports is rigged in the same way the royal family's rigged. And if you don't know what I mean, we'll connect all the dots. But, of course, buzzing in the headlines as of yesterday, Tuesday, February 27th, Thomas Kingston, the husband of Lady Gabriella Kingston, has passed away for unexplained reasons at the age of 45. And she does also go by Lady Gabriella Windsor. And of course, we just had the death of the British dancer, whose name is also Windsor, just days before this. And we'll talk about the clear parallel there. But again, look at how obvious this is. And let's talk about a really long standing pattern with the royal family. So, as you can see, this man died at a very young age, and not long after he got married to this woman, by the way. But he's dead on the 56th day of the year, right? And again, royal family equates to 56 in Gematria. If you're new here, Gematria is not BS, as so many lemmings think, and so many brain dead short bus riders. It is the knowledge to see what's going on every single day in pretty much all of the world, because we're on a calendar system that's synced up with the English language that's spread worldwide. And through understanding this, you can see the rituals that are taking place by the same redundant patterns year after year. Again, the last king of England before Charles died at age 56, on the most perfect day to bring us the Queen of England, Elizabeth, as we've talked about so many times. And then last year, King Charles had his coronation on May 6th, 5-6. The word coronation also equals 56 in Gematria. And again, it was synced with what was going on in the NBA and LeBron and what was going on in the Kentucky Derby on the same day. And for the record, Kentucky Derby equals 56. LA Lakers equals 56. In the Kentucky Derby, the favorite horses were in posts 5 and 6, and one of them was called King's Barnes. Here we're talking about Kingston, as we'll get to. But like, for example, again, in history, the real King James, his son was King Charles. And the people who fought for him were called Cavaliers during the time of the English Civil War. And by the way, Civil War equals 56. This number is all important, this 56. It's not an accident that this nation over here, the U.S., that never did get free from the United Kingdom, that's why we're the United States, it began with 56 signers. But anyway, last year on the coronation on 5-6, go back and look. You had the Kentucky Derby, which again equals 56, with the horses in posts 5 and 6, who were favorites. They didn't win, but again, it was just all part of the ritual. And then in the Lakers team, you had two big stars on that team outside of LeBron, Anthony Davis, who went to Kentucky for college. The game was 56 days after his birthday and the coronation. And you had D'Angelo Russell, who also went to Kentucky, who picked up his 56th win with the Lakers that day, as LeBron became 5 and 6 at home in the playoffs versus Steph Curry, when the name Steven equals crown. And they've done all these rituals with LeBron and Curry and Kings, like LeBron winning the NBA Finals for the Cavs on the real King James's birthday, and how they so often play each other on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Again, bloodlines, royalty, family, traditions being passed down, like how LeBron's father's Nate Thurmond, and he died right after the King James finals ritual with the Cavs. Again, King James's son was King Charles. Those who fought for King Charles were Cavaliers. Steph Curry's father is Del Curry. And there, I mean, we could go on and on about these father bloodlines, royalty, rituals. But okay, coming back to this. This man is dead on the 56th day of the year, and we're going to see just how connected to King Charles it is, and his wife, and the history of Diana's death, who used to be married to Charles. But notice where it says right in the Wikipedia for this lady that he's married to. She is 56th in the line of succession to the British throne. 56th in line. Oh, go figure. And he died on the 56th day of the year, but it was not announced until yesterday, February 27th, which just happened to be 56 days before her birthday. Okay? Now, where did Diana die? She died in Paris, France, 56. Like Society of Jesus, 56. like how England is controlled by the Vatican. And what's that phrase with Britain? The sun never sets on Britain. What is the Catholic Church, which is, controlled by the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits? And here we are in the time of the first Jesuit Pope. They began as a sun-worshiping cult. The sun never sets on Britain, who's colonized pretty much the whole world on behalf of the church, which is also established worldwide. So, with regards to 56, again, the last king of England, dead at 56, Charles' coronation on 5/6. This woman, it's weird how, depending on what headline you look at, she's either Gabriella Kingston or she's Gabriella Windsor. So it's like, I'm not sure which one it is, but it's obviously both. Gabriella Windsor, for the record, does have gematria of 263, which is the 56 prime. That 263, 56 is a special pairing. Like another person, an old witch on her throne, Nancy Pelosi. Her birthday is 26/3. Her name equals 56, like Washington, D.C. equals 56. This ritual his death came 263 days before Charles' upcoming birthday, his 76th birthday. He's 75 right now, which means he's in his 76th year of life. And as we'll get to, Thomas Kingston equates to 76, the man who's dead. So the ritual synced with Charles' 76th birthday. And there it is right there, from the date of death to Charles' upcoming birthday. 263, the 56th prime number. You add up the flights that hit targets on 9/11, they add up to 263. That's flights 11, 175, and 77. And there's a lot more to each of those numbers individually. But also, if you spell out 3 as a word, it equals 56. Like the word light equals 56. Like Abrahamic equals 56. 3 Abrahamic religions. God makes light in Genesis 1:3. The Illuminati, the ones in the light. The Illuminati, founded by a member of the Society of Jesus, Adam Weishaupt, in 1776. Again, this synced up with Charles' 76th birthday. Notice, from the day the Queen died, and let's not forget that we explained why the Queen would die at 96 and why it would have to do with 140, only for her to die at age 96, 140 days after her birthday, when Queen of England's 140, and there was a lot of 96s in her life, which is a big Freemason number. And modern Freemasonry is a Jesuit creation, and we'll bring in the big Freemason piece here. But notice, from the day that Charles became king to the death of Thomas Kingston, 76 weeks and days later. And the ritual synced with his 76th birthday. Notice Thomas Kingston's 59 when you run the alphabetic order forwards, 76 when you run it in reverse. He died a span of 59 days from his wife's birthday. 59 is the 17th prime. Modern Freemasonry, created in London in 1717. This nation, the United States, established 59 years later in 1776. So again, these numbers, special pairing, and now you see them come together in a royal family member death, and the royal family, very much Masonic. Some of the members are publicly known to be powerful Masons in London, and you can imagine others choose their right to remain, within Masonry, but anonymous. Just like how Skull and Bones is. Skull and Bones, some members, it's publicly known that they're members. Other people, choose to keep the affiliation anonymous. Okay. If you're new here, Freemasonry has the gematria 58 when you run the alphabetic order forwards, 59 when you run it in reverse. This man's death was announced yesterday on the 58th day of the year. He died 58 days before his wife's birthday, or a span of 59 days. Again, they announced it 56 days before her upcoming birthday. We're going to get in here with the Pope who does the hidden hand pose. Again, look up the old images of Pope Francis doing the hidden hand. Look at how many old drawings on Wikipedia of prominent people they're doing the hidden hand in their Wikipedia profiles or other places online, including George Washington, who was a Mason. Again, if you don't know the hidden hand, it's like if you have a jacket on, you tuck this hand in, and hidden, secrecy, and over your heart like you're doing an oath. Masons are supposed to keep the secrets. Lemmings always say, like, how can people keep secrets? It's like, well, okay. Most lemmings don't even realize that Freemasonry exists. Take my sister, for example. My sister is so dense, she thinks Freemasonry is a conspiracy theory. Why? Because she knows nothing about it and she refuses to listen to anything. The only time she ever heard the word, even though there's lodges all over the world, including the town she lives in and the town pretty much everybody lives in, again, she's so dense. I don't want to talk about it. But again, this is how people are. So Pope Francis, and then somebody will be like, but Catholics forbid Freemasonry. Okay, that's public knowledge. What's going on the inside within the secret lanes? What about the fact that the Jesuits, who are Catholic, created modern Freemasonry? And it's anyone can research that all the rites of the Scottish Rite were written by Jesuit priests. You know, the banking district of London, where modern Freemasonry was created, as a Jesuit stronghold, just like Washington, D.C. is, just like the Vatican is, which is why there's the 3 stars for the 3 independent city-states on Washington, D.C.'s flag. So again, all these things intertwined, and ever so obviously. And by the way, here, there should be another 58, 59 on that list that I'm just like, how didn't I put that there? London, England, okay? London, England is 58, 59. Oversight. Since their wedding occurred, this death comes in the 58th month since their wedding. Go figure. They were married on May 18th. And again, it's a whole other topic, but that date has a lot to do with Catholicism. In the UK, they write that date 18/5. Look at his name, Thomas Kingston, 185, right? Thomas Kingston, 59. 193, which is the 44th prime, and 76. So we need to cover the 193 part next, but these are the 4 base ciphers if you're new here. Alphabetic order, A is 1 up to Z is 26, is where Thomas Kingston's 185. Reverse alphabetic order, Z is 1 back to A is 26, is where Thomas Kingston's 193. With numerology, Thomas Kingston's 59. That's just taking the alphabetic order and applying numerology. So you make every letter a single-digit number. So the 26th letter Z would become 8 because 2 plus 6 is 8. Why the 25th letter is 2 plus 5 is 7. Simple math. So you get smaller value. And then the reverse alphabetic order with numerology is the 76. Reverse alphabetic order, Z is 1 back to A is 26, 193. Okay. 193 is the 44th prime number. And we just had the death of this Robin Windsor just days before this, at age 44, supposedly from cancer. Remember, cancer, chemo, kill, they all equal 44, as does execution. But Robin Windsor, dead by the numbers, right? They said it was from cancer. This was 5 days before Thomas Kingston died. And we did put out a video on this. And again, you just see, this was not an accident, just like Thomas Kingston's death is not an accident. Days apart from each other. But again, Thomas Kingston, 193, the 44th prime. From his wife's last birthday to the death, exactly 44 weeks on the nose. Kingston, 44. Again, 44, super deadly number. Kill and execution are both 44. A lot of numbers that have to do with killing are 44. Like, what are militaries for? They're for killing. Military's 44. Soldiers, 44. Infantry's 44. Troopers, 44. And the list goes on. Exactly 44 weeks. Let's not overlook the 308 days either, because the key digits in 308 are 3 and 8. We know death, murder, killing, RIP, they're all 38. And this happens 44 weeks after his wife's 42nd birthday, right? The word Freemason's 42, the word Jesuit's 42, the surname Windsor is 42. Special number here, 42. You know, in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the computer Deep Thought, you know, how it says it's the meaning of life 42. The name of that computer that puts that out is Deep Thought for another 42. Okay. From Charles' coronation to the death, 42 weeks and a day. 42 weeks and a day. Go figure, right? 42 weeks and a day. And again, Freemasonry, Jesuits, secret societies, sharing history, the royal family, publicly known to be, important in Freemasonry. As it says, the Duke of Kent has been the Grand Master of the United States Grand Lodge of England for 55 years. It's more than that now because this article is from 2022. But just the point I'm making is a deep history. This means Queen Elizabeth's cousin is the most senior Freemason in the hierarchy. Um, and for the record, the whole 56 thing, 56 actually has a connection to Freemasonry too. If you use the plural, Freemasons is 56. For the record. Okay. This man dying at 45. Okay. Two numbers here that matter. Ritual equals 27 forwards, 45 in reverse. And you see like how Berlin Wall equals 45? Remember, Donald Trump was called the 45th president-elect, and he has bloodlines going back to royalty. But he was called the 45th president-elect on the 27th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. And you see how Berlin Wall is also 63? 2016, the year that happened in, is the 63rd triangular number. That's why Muhammad Ali died at age 63 in 2016 when the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have died at 63. And we called that years in advance why Muhammad would die at age 74. Very special number is 74. It's a number connected to death, like killing is 74 and the king is 74. And Charles became the king in his 74th year of life. And then you had the killings in Moscow on King Street that were announced on his brother, or not on his birthday, King Charles' 74th birthday, those killings on King's Road at the University of Idaho in Moscow, when he's also of Russian ancestry, and Moscow spelled the same way as Moscow. That was on his 74th birthday that it became the news story. Just like how the Virginia Cavaliers college student killings were announced on his same birthday, on his 74th birthday, when Cavaliers are those who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War, which again is another 56 word. We've seen a lot of 56 rituals, even going beyond the king when it comes to the Civil War. But okay, 45 in ritual, right? He's dead at 45. The 27 piece here. He died 103 days after the king's birthday, which is the 27th prime number. And Jesuits is 103. Scottish is 103. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, again, the announcement on the 58th day of the year. See how it all comes together so nicely. And there's some other things in here, you know, with regards to the Pope connection. We're on the calendar named after the Pope. Pope has that 56. It was 70 days after the Pope's birthday. Vatican is 70, like Francis. And again, let's not forget what they just did with the rigged Super Bowl on the Vatican's birthday. Winning team scored 25, 47 total points. And the 47 state Nevada, when the over-under was set at 47.5. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season of the NFL. It was weird how hard it was to find Thomas Kingston's birthday, but the Independent has it. Like, a lot of places don't have a birthday for him. The Independent was the one place I could find it. And his birthday is June 22nd. He died 248 days after his birthday, or 118 days before his upcoming birthday. We talk about 118 a lot in death. In Jewish gematria, both death and homicide equal 118. And then the 248, it's another one of these sacrifice numbers. Human sacrifice is 248. He died at 45, which means he died in his 46th year of life. He would have turned 46 later this year. As we know, Genesis 46 begins with a sacrifice. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's another day at the office for the royal family. Another big 56. And yeah, just Thomas Kingston, 76. 76 weeks after Charles becomes the king, synced with his 76th upcoming birthday while he's in his 76th year of life. And yeah, I mean, don't you wish we lived in a world where we actually had like a real news media that's, you know, like everyone's under the delusion that we have a news media to keep us up to date with the best information in the world so that we can be informed people and know what's going on and make proper decisions. We don't have that. All we have is nothing but propaganda that's constantly distracting us, covering up the truth, demonizing the truth. trying to shut down, and we've seen like YouTube's not YouTube anymore. It's not YouTube. Once upon a time, it was for independent people to put out their message, their thoughts, their research, their entertainment. Now it's not that. What happens if you go on YouTube today and search Thomas Kingston death? Back in, well, the way it always was until about the middle of 2017 after the chump became president, you found independent people's videos. But now you search, and now that all that comes up is all the mainstream media. That's what comes up in the feed at the very top. Nothing but mainstream news. And then if you get to like page 10, you might actually find, what used to be up at the top. And now hardly anybody gets any views because people are just clicking what comes up first. And they're just watching the news on YouTube now. Just another place where the news is syndicated. That's how, in 2016, 2017, this video probably would have got, I don't know, at least 500,000 views. I'll be lucky if this video gets 5,000 views. That's the difference between now and then. And it's too bad. The information or the internet was supposed to be, once upon a time, people saw it as the way to get around the nonstop propaganda because people who've had their head, outside of their derriere, they've known that the TV's been lying to them all these years. And by the way, if you've never seen my past work on like Diana's death, go back and look. Diana died 132 days after the Queen's birthday. Princess Diana 132. England's 132. Catholic Church is 132. Roman Catholics 132. I forget what it is. It's like their there's something about, there's like one of the royal family's prominent buildings is 132. I can't remember what it is right now. The old there's so many 132s I'm forgetting. It's big over here too. United States of America is 132. There's 132 rooms in the White House. The United States of America was named that on September 9th, 1776. 132 days from the establishment of the Illuminati. If you throw a "the" in front of it, it's 99, like it was named on September 9th. It's also 144, like Jesuit Orders 144. It's also 261, like George Washington laid the cornerstone for D.C. on the 261st day of the year, September 18th, 1793. But yeah, it's just, and again, here's the thing to think about too. Do you think the royal family like really wants to sacrifice their own people? Again, you have to ask yourself, why is the royal family even on the world stage anymore? Like, why are they even still there? Again, they're on the world stage because they're part of this cabal, and it's that secret society element that's into all this old ritualistic stuff where this ritual sacrifice pattern comes from. Again, Masonry is based in the ancient mystery religions and prominently Kabbalah, where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from. Kabbalah's Book of Formation says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. Again, it's not an accident that God has the same gematria as Satan. What's God to a decent spiritual person is not God to somebody who is worshiping, the opposite entity. And again, I mean, you've seen it before. You've seen it in all kinds of places about this idea of sacrifice and energy and harnessing power. Again, I'd encourage everybody to look into Kabbalah's dark half called the Clip-Off. The Clip-Off, which is about sorcery and spell casting and having influence over others, harnessing this knowledge and energy to have power. And again, what we see are the things that have power in this world: the entertainment industry, the royal family, the Vatican, the presidency. We see all this ritualistic sacrifice and death. So whether it's necessary to do this to maintain power, I cannot answer that question. I don't know. I've never sacrificed anybody and seen if like overnight, all of a sudden I have way more influence and power, and I would never do that. If I found out that that was the case, that if I could sacrifice people to have more influence in the world, to me, that would be wrong because that's violating the golden rule. So again, morals, ethics, values, belief systems, through knowledge and understanding what's really going on, you can see where you are in the world and you can see what types of things you're investing your energy in, and if you should really be a part of that. Like, how many people are just so infatuated with the royal family? They care so much. Why? This is like a demonic thing. The only thing you should have to say about the royal family is I want to expose what this is. Do we need these people on the world stage? How come they all look inbred? I mean, literally. Like, well, Thomas Kingston doesn't look half as bad as Charles or Elizabeth, but I mean, the ones up at the top, it's like, God, how much inbreeding is there? Why do I have to see magazine covers with these people's faces? Isn't the world bad enough without having to look at these fucking people? You know what I mean? These people don't belong. They don't belong in any of our minds. They don't need to be there. And this is what it's all about at the end of the day. This is how they stay on the stage. It's certainly not for their beauty. Woo, man. But yeah, again, if the world could just grasp the knowledge, they'd be right where we are in this community. They'd be like, damn, I'm not falling for any of this anymore. I see exactly what they're doing. And by the way, Diana's birthday was July 1st. And the queen was 71 back when she died. The big royal death in the tunnel in Paris, France, where the Jesuits are from, where nobody could see what was going on. And they had to tell you that she hit pillar 13. 13. Again, if you write out the Society of Jesus, if you put a the in front of it, it's 71, just like Catholic is like royal. Again, big numbers with the church over and over. And again, Society of Jesus, 56 like Paris, France. But again, it was all synced with the Queen's 71st birthday. It was synced with Charles. I have a write-up on my first book, Letters and Numbers, about Diana's death. Several videos over the past. A lot of them have been taken down by YouTube with channels that have been deleted. But again, a big recurring theme with the royal family. Right here, 56. And this is just blatant again. I'd say it was more obvious what they did with the coronation on May 6th and how synced it was again with the Kentucky Derby and the NBA. And again, for people who are not catching my drift about, those players being from Kentucky and the day of the Kentucky Derby, that's the other thing I've been saying. People are literally being bred like thoroughbred horses for the world sports stage. Anthony Davis is over 7 feet tall. How many people have you ever met in your life that are over 7 feet tall? I'd bet outside of the world of pro sports, you haven't met anybody. The tallest person I've ever met did play collegiate basketball, but he was like really slow and uncoordinated. He was about 6'10", and he looked super weird. His face was like elongated, like so many overgrown people are. But again, never met anyone in my life who was over 7 feet. But somehow, some way, there's a bunch of them in the NBA who don't know who their fathers are. And then again, this perfect ritual with Kentucky athletes, the royal family, and horse racing, big thing in the UK too. But again, that's how you can see how the world stage is actually operating. When they tell you that, oh, it's a random draw at the Kentucky Derby for the post. No, it's not. We're showing every year why the horses are in the post they're in. It's all ritual. Just like they etch on the Masonic temple. All is number. So, Thomas Kingston, dead for the king. Thomas Kingston, again, I'd say if you're trying to break this down to your friends and family, the 56 is probably the thing. And if you have a family member that can understand 2 numbers in a decode, maybe also show them 76 weeks after the king became the king, perfectly synced with his 76th birthday while he's in his 76th year of life. And again, you're in your 76th year of life when you turn 75, just like how when you're born, you're in your first year of life. And then you turn 1 and you begin your second year of life. And then you turn 2 and you begin your third year of life. Again, a lot of people get hung up on these things. But yeah, the 56 and the 76, I think, you might not overwhelm your family. They might actually get it. So. Yeah, that Robin Windsor's death, it was the big clue what was coming. All right. Shout out to Truth Does Not Exist. He said, check my community post. I see that you have a fever and you want Sweet Lady to help you out. You can call me tonight when she's back home from work. I don't really talk to her during her work day because she's busy. But call us around 6:30 p.m. Pacific. That's 9:30 your time. She'll help you out. So, Okay, I didn't see the Super Bowl video 8 days ago. I'll take a look. Rick James says, "Keep in with your awesome work, Zach. Zach, I hope your sweet lady can help Sebastian." Okay, he's backing you up. But again, Sebastian, I mean, you know what to do when you're sick. You sleep. Rest is really the best thing. You get a lot of water. You stay hydrated. You boost your vitamin C levels. Make sure your vitamin D's not down. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. I know you stay up late, so I'm guessing that's how you got sick in the first place. But yeah, vitamin D, vitamin C, rest, fluids. I mean, that's the universal thing. And sometimes you do need antibiotics, but it's better to not get on those because they messed up your gut bacteria. So if you ever, for anyone who ever takes antibiotics, once you get off those, man, you should be doing things to get that good gut bacteria back. Probiotic, healthy foods. Really, really crucial time to eat well after you come off antibiotics. If once you're better, the first thing you're doing is putting ice cream and soda and all this sugary stuff, that just creates the exact opposite atmosphere. So, yeah. And Sebastian, you're a smart guy too. But yeah, if you call us tonight when she's home, or if you want to send me a text about what's going on, I can forward her the text. She might have a minute on her lunch break. And shout out to Rick James for gifting another membership. Appreciate that. The wildfires in Texas, I was going to get to that. I'll probably stream on that later today. I got to start the sports stream. Again, it's amazing to me, like how people are who want to gamble the Super Bowl. Like if you gamble the Super Bowl, what's the point of only gambling that one event? Why not use the knowledge every day of the year? Like yesterday, off the sports knowledge, you could have turned a $5 bill into $500, like a lot of people did in the community. Again, like some of you guys will say, "Oh, Zach, I'd love to come to Pound Payment, but I can't afford to. I can't leave my day job." Meanwhile, there's Big Al. He came out to Seattle. He flew up from Arizona when we were out there in the freezing rain and cold in March of 2020, days after the pandemic was declared, to educate people about what was really going on. Big Al was out there freezing his ass off because he's down from Arizona. I remember I felt bad because he's so tall. He was like shaking it, but he didn't care. I was like, you don't got to stay out here, man. You're not used to this. I know how it is to go from Arizona up to here with our weather. It's brutal. I grew up here, but I went to college in Arizona. I remember when I came back after being in Arizona for a year, it was like 80 degrees out here and I was freezing because I was used to it being 120. But the point I'm making about Big Al is, that weekend that he was up here, he made $2,000, paid off his whole trip up here, just using the knowledge, taking advantage of the UFC fights that Saturday. He made like $2,100, and he's been doing it like almost every Saturday ever since. So all of you guys who come around just for the Super Bowl, it really annoys me. It's like, God, who are these people? These people suck. Hang around and support the work. How much money do you make off the Super Bowl? You made your money off the low investment and then you just bounce? Why aren't you hanging around making more money? Why aren't you supporting me? Why are you coming around for one month for a Super Bowl pick? It's so lame. I mean, you stay on the page all year, what, $55? You can't afford that? $60, whatever it be. You can't dedicate $60 to the cause over the course of a year. It's just like yesterday, support goes down as we set fire to the NBA and NHL. It's like, how are there less people here today? That it doesn't even make sense. How this world, man. Support this damn work so we can make some real shit happen. Do you understand why shit's not happening? Because not enough people are supporting. We should have GematriaEffectNews trucks in every city. Like Richard Quinn should be compensated, driving around. He'd be out every day. He'd have the bullhorn on top of his truck. He'd have the video billboard in the back. He'd be cruising around Indianapolis, Not just him. A lot of people would be doing it. We should have that kind of support to make those things happen. There should be a Gematria Effect news truck in every city in America, driving around, cruising around, just dropping the knowledge, mega speaker. Gematria Effect news team in every city. There's no reason there's not more people supporting this work. And for anyone out there who supports losers like Joseph Living Waters, what are you doing? Why do you support the clone trash piece of shit human being who steals my work, claims it for his, and slanders me. That's a person who, their body should be decomposing 6 feet underground. We don't need frauds in the community who start every video like this. Simple gospel. Jesus came to the earth and lived a perfect 33 years and was crucified. And if we all just believe in that, we'll just live eternally forever. It's just like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Don't take my work and then promote bullshit religion by the Society of Jesus that's doing all this. Okay? Doesn't make any sense to expose the Society of Jesus and believe in their fraudulent religion that they made for all the fearful losers to believe in. Okay? We need warriors, not little religious twerps that just believe in bullshit and surround their life with nothing but fear. Again, if you can't see that religion is the same thing as all this, you're part of the problem. Period. End of discussion. All right, Truth Seeker, we'll leave it there. And until next time.